Welcome to Geeks Corner, I'm Mr. DAPs.
And I'm Johnny 5.
And why are you Johnny 5 tonight?
I'm in a weird...
Yeah, this is weird.
I'm Johnny 5 because I found a new website that's all about math problems. So now I don't have to go and enroll myself in a math class just to have problems. I can have problems anytime I want.
We're only 30 seconds in and people are already bored.
Right? It's amazing. It's amazing. And I spent 5 hours there. And it was good use of time.
What was the hardest question?
It was if x plus 1 over x equals 2, then what is the value of x to the power of 2048 plus
fun.
1 over x to the power of
2048
plus x to the power of 2047
So right now,
1 over
Murray the Bellhop is in
I'm not done with it.
He's in Disneyland at the AP event for Indiana Jones, and I believe Tony Baxter and Tim O'Day are talking right now. So we're going to take a quick peek and look at him and see we're going to see it. Yeah, we're going to see Murray's view. Ooh. And see, there's Tony Baxter and Tim O'Day talking in the Big Thunder Ranch Jamboree. And I'm betting they're talking about socks right now, don't you think?
Yeah, they're
definitely talking about socks. We haven't figured out how we can hear yet. You guys could possibly hear if we turned up the volume, but we're not going to do that. We're going to let you go watch the video.
You could hear, but we're not going to let you.
Why would we do that? Yeah, so that's Tim O'Day. We'll come back to us now.
And who's the other guy?
Tony Baxter.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, the voice of Ariel.
This would be the point where if you're still watching, you can chat with us by going to the Twitter and using the hashtag Geeks Corner, and we will be responding and live tweeting throughout the show. And hopefully it will be fun. And we love to hear from you, so tweet at us, and we will be tweeting back. We've got Nathan helping us there. And then also some of it will show up on the show because our producer, Tyler, can actually put them in that cool white and blue Twitter bar.
That's only in the preview.
The Twitter bar?
Actually
it's not in the thing yet?
I don't think it's not live, right?
There will be a Twitter bar.
The one on the right is what we're seeing.
And the one on the left is what we're Twitter bar? Even though there's nothing in it yet, because they haven't tweeted at us yet.
Is that
There's
maple
the
bar?
Twitter bar.
Man, I like maple bars.
They're so good.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just like leaves on bread, but really.
Yeah,
that stuff's good.
That's fantastic. So,
it's a great show tonight, guys.
It is. It's going to be a blast. Yeah. So, Sunday was Dapper Day.
Yeah.
And
it was a rainy day.
You didn't go,
I
did
didn't
you?
go. I stayed home and was dry.
It actually was a fairly dry day, but it rained for what? Would you say an hour? Maybe an hour and a half? But it came down pretty good for that hour and a half, and my socks were wet, and that wasn't so fun.
No.
Because then they're wet the rest of the day, and dress shoes with soggy socks.
Ooh.
And it wasn't the warmest day. It wasn't cold, but it wasn't the most comfortable thing in the world. But I think it was
fashion never is.
True. But it was a really good turnout. I think it was the biggest turnout I've seen yet. Wouldn't you agree, Tyler? Since you were there. You're not on the show, but you're on the show.
Really, he could be doing anything over there, and we're like, yeah, he's shaking his head yes.
Yes, anybody.
He's smiling and shaking his head yes.
But we do have pictures on...
Now he's picking his nose.
On the website. Yeah, he's picking his nose. I wonder what his girlfriend thinks of that. She's not here, though, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want tonight, Tyler, because she's not here to stop you. But, okay, that too. But yeah, we've got pictures on the website, and they were fun. And do you have any observations from the pictures? Do you even look at the article?
There was an article?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
I've seen pictures around the Facebook, and it looks like people had a really good time while they were there.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love seeing. I was seeing a bunch of groups of people that were happy together in front of the castle and various other places, and that was cool.
So happy together.
Yeah. You were telling me when we were kicking around ideas for the show tonight that there was an issue.
Oh yeah, there was some trolling after the Dapper Day, some post Dapper Day trolling for people that wore outfits that they didn't feel were either up to standards or were too high of standards or were too Disney boundish and
I don't get that at all.
I think people just need to be nice.
Yeah, be nice, or you don't have to be a bully about it. I mean, my mom and I
and actually that's true, because you're making a very good point. Is when you're picking on people online because of any outfit that they've worn in the park, you have probably crossed into that line of being a bully.
Yeah, a little bit. So.
And so there's our public service announcement of tonight. I see Daps Amanda says, I saw this magical row of Peeps at the store the other day. What are your thoughts on Peeps? We love Peeps.
There might be a music video. that I would recommend you to.
The Primordial Penguins did a music video. The song was called what?
All the Ways to Kill My Peeps, I think.
We may have bullied some peeps.
We definitely bullied some peeps. We
Maybe
did some
more
awful...
than that. My favorite was the ending, though.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to spoil it for you. It's all connected.
It's a good video, isn't it, Tyler? Yeah, it's Caesar.
That was made like less than a week.
He's like the producer for Conan. He just sits back there and he shakes his head and he smiles and nods.
If we ever get a second camera,
we are
or
totally
we need a dedicated
putting a camera on Tyler someday during the episode because he's just like. It's funny.
It's cute to watch him be quiet for 30 minutes.
I don't think we can put a picture up on our Twitter bar, can we?
No, I don't think it works like that.
That would be so cool. But yeah, what are our thoughts on peeps? They're fun to destroy.
They're fun to destroy.
Yeah, they're a little bit too sweet for me. They're fun to. Well, you just watched the video. That was a lot of fun, and that's what I would say. That
we
will
have some
answer our
creative
question.
ideas on how to
have
fun with peeps.
Exactly.
They're good. Have you ever put peeps, like roast a peep over a fire and then put it between 2 graham crackers, and it's a s'mores plus, and that's a fun way to do peeps, I think.
Okay.
With a little bit of chocolate. It's it's way too sweet. So if you gave up sugar for Lent, wait until Easter.
Yeah. Sure. So there was a kind of a fun announcement over the last week. It actually happened before we filmed the last week, but we already had the show full, so we couldn't really add anything. But before we go to the announcement, I think we need to go back to Disneyland and see how Murray and see if anything has changed.
This time we're going to get the
and
live
this time
audio.
we've got absolutely nothing. It's dark.
Ooh.
It's scary.
Yeah.
We're looking at some people's feet.
Yeah.
I think Murray might have fallen asleep. Oh, we're going a little higher. Oh, here we go.
Up.
Here we go. This is the best thing ever. It's Murray Cam.
Hey Murray, when you're rewatching this, just go
there
ahead
we
and
go.
hashtag not asleep.
Not asleep.
Now
Yeah.
on
So,
Twitter, we can...
oh, he's trying to zoom in for us or something.
Oh.
So I think at this point they're talking about the big rock and
Yes.
and how they really wanted a rock and roll theme, but they ended up with a rock chasing.
They
individuals.
and I believe in one of the production meetings, they asked if they could get the Rolling Stones, and somebody wrote it down wrong.
Yeah, I think that
created one of the most iconic.
definitely what happened. So we'll leave Murray to continue watching this, and hopefully we'll have the entire video up at some point. I know. Well,
It's fine. That's all we need.
We'll just put clips up of the whole thing. If not, we'll send a camera in tomorrow, maybe. Yeah, so anyway, there was a big announcement that came out before we filmed Geeks Corner last week, but we were already set and locked in on our show, so it was too late. But Ducktales.
Oh, EA. Oh, ooh.
Wow, let's try that again. But Ducktales is making a return in 2 years.
Yeah.
On Disney, is it Disney XD, is that right? Okay. And
which is really just Disney and then an emoticon for laughing really hard.
Sure.
Isn't it?
I'm curious what people think.
That one.
This is the point where you can use the hashtag Geeks Corner and let us know what you think about a remake of DuckTales coming out. Mikey Likey eats the heads of peeps first. He says it's morbid.
Oh, always.
I think whatever works. But so
I'm gonna call you Ozzy.
they're gonna have DuckTales return after over 2 decades, and
Man, I hope it ages well.
I do too. And Disney XD, I feel like, has a really good track record. In fact, I just watched.
You were geeking out over some
Star
show.
Wars Rebels.
Yeah.
And there were some episodes that were kind of mediocre throughout the first season, but it ended on a high note. And if you haven't watched it yet, totally watch Star Wars Rebels. Watch the entire season. You won't regret it. I think it went from where the Clone Wars started. Like, I thought they set a pretty good bar, and then they just went right on by it. And I'm sure, actually, I know Danny was writing her review, so that'll be up soon too on DAPs Magic. But we're not talking about Star Wars tonight. We're talking about DuckTales.
Woo.
Thank you. So it's 2 decades later. Yeah. What do you think they look like? What do you think they sound like?
Now, are they picking up the characters 20 years later, or are they?
I'm assuming it'll be the same
It's the same
because
okay.
characters don't age in that universe.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
we still have Kid, Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
I'm
and
assuming
the Donald Duck we all know,
yeah.
and the old Scrooge McDuck. Okay.
Right.
As long as that's all true.
Right.
Gyro, Launchpad, they all.
I'm
be
curious
the same.
if Alan Young will be returning because he's like really old. Does anybody know how old he is?
Oh, is he an actor?
We don't have Roger here tonight, so we don't have our.
How old is Alan Young?
We have Siri though.
Is he Alan old yet?
He's 95.
Whoa.
I was gonna say 93, but still quite
So he
advanced.
is Alan Old.
Yes, but not Alan Alda. But yeah, he's getting up there in age, as are some of the other.
Well, I bet the original Huey, Dewey, and Louie aren't coming back because they would probably sound more like Donald Duck by now. I don't know. Who was it?
Was that Rusey? Did Rusey Taylor do Huey, Dewey, Louie? I don't actually know that off the top of my head, but that's what I have a hunch. So let us know in the Twitter, or Tyler might be Googling it right now too. I don't know.
How many
On
devices
his
can one man
phone.
operate?
Okay, so the voices will be one thing.
Yeah.
What do you think they'll do for animation?
I'm actually feeling good about the animation because I don't remember
Really?
how recently.
My hope for animation is they go a Phineas and Ferb kind of direction.
No. They
Well,
have to
I like
stay
that
somewhat true to
simplistic.
that.
That's
Stay
the one I feel like
simplistic,
is,
but not-
is truest to what they had before.
Okay. Yes on the simplistic, no on the like we're gonna make everything into geometric shapes.
Oh, I agree
and,
with
like,
that.
go
I don't want
abstract.
the style.
That's why I was.
Yeah.
But when they remade the Ducktales game, it looks really good.
Oh yeah, it looks
So-
fantastic.
Clearly, they have the artistic people somewhere in the company that are able to still.
Well, Mike Peraza, I look at his
Like-
stuff all the time, and he's posting all the time. So they should just
So-
get him to come back and redo a bunch
Yeah,
of stuff
exactly.
and all
I
that
think-
team.
They have access to the style, and
Yeah.
I don't think I have. I'm not worried about the look.
So do you think they'll have the exact same style, maybe a little bit cleaner,
It'll be a little cleaner, probably a brighter color palette, I would guess, just because
remastered?
yeah.
Wouldn't that
exactly.
be great if they remastered the original seasons
Yeah,
and
that'd be cool.
and reset them out? It'd be great if they finished giving out the Muppets too, because that never happened.
Yeah.
We just got the first 3 seasons and then they stopped. Why would they do that to us? Mikey really likey says, or Mikey likey, this really confuses me, Mikey really likey. Your
What happened to
Twitter
the
handle
really?
needs the really.
Yeah.
I just hope they do it right. I know they could just as easily screw it up, but I do have high hopes for this. I do too.
Mhm. High apple pie in the sky hopes.
I hope also they keep the plots the
Yeah.
same style, where because they lifted a lot of like traditional or classic stories
Mhm.
and historical events that they would replay
Yeah.
in their own Duckburg way, and I really liked the lessons that came from it. Obviously, as you've heard, through,
Multiple times.
yes,
Almost
I
daily.
reference DuckTales all the time.
time.
Thank you. Yeah. Are there any other Disney afternoon shows you'd like to see return?
Every single one of them.
All of them?
I want to see Gummy Bears.
Gargoyles? What?
Yeah, I was
No,
thinking
Rusey
Gargoyles.
Taylor is
Yes.
still listed as presently the voice of Huey, Dewey, and Louie, but also
I thought so.
Tony and Salimo.
Yeah, he's
As
the
the
voice
media
of Donald.
For
He also
other
did what?
media, he voiced. So
Okay.
he also does it, I guess, if needed.
Oh, really?
So
I didn't know he did that.
yeah, Rusey Taylor was 1979 to president, and Tony is 88 to president.
So I wonder if, I wonder who was for DuckTales. now we're setting him off on another adventure. Yeah.
Down.
Jason is awesome. Also hopes that they keep the classic animation style, and yeah, I think that's the hope. I would not be surprised at all if they stylize it, though. I mean, this is the other side of my analysis of it is, do you think they'll do something like they're doing with the Mickey cartoons currently?
I was gonna
Like,
say,
I can see
yeah.
that. I hope
Hopefully
they
not.
don't. I agree.
Yeah.
But, and maybe they need to start a petition of don't make it look like the Mickey shorts.
Right. How much work has already been completed on it, though?
I don't know. They got 2 more years, so I feel
Okay.
like, I mean, a lot of it's going to be computer
That's
animated
fine.
now. Yeah. We know what he's going to look like. Start over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, I'd be all down for Gargoyles. I remember Bonkers was a show.
Oh yeah,
Wanna see
Bonkers.
Bonkers come
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Tailspin,
Tailspin. Oh yeah.
and of course you want DuckTales or DuckTales. No. Darkwing Duck to
I
return.
don't want Duckwing Duck.
Like, that's.
I'm hoping for at least one cameo, like just walk through
Well,
the
they
show.
have to have Gizmo Duck.
They do.
Like,
Yeah.
there's always.
And
Like-
I think in the press release they mentioned Gizmo Duck.
Oh, did they really?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't
yeah.
remember that part, but
Yeah.
I believe you.
Didn't you read the article?
I did. I wrote it.
Yeah, we can.
Do you know how many articles I write in a week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. There
Yeah,
you
I
go.
got
Um,
a lot.
But yeah, I and then I know I've heard a lot of Chippendale Rescue Ranger requests,
that'd be
and
Yes.
that one almost seems like it's more popular than DuckTales, and that's hard for me to believe. Like I liked it, but
I think-
DuckTales was always the top.
I think the fans are louder. I don't think there's more fans. I think the fans that they have are more vocal.
That could be, because for me it was DuckTales, and then right below was Darkwing Duck, and then right next to him was
no, below. You can say below. It's
well, no,
below.
right below, but together were Rescue Rangers
Rescue
and
Rangers would be
Tailspin
below
were
DuckTales,
next to
that's
each
fine.
other.
Oh, okay. That's
No,
fine.
those two tied right below.
Tied.
So let us know what was your rating for your favorite
Yeah.
Disney afternoons in order of favorites. Is that 1 to 5? Because I'm not going to count Gargoyles because I feel like that was a little bit later.
That was an interesting one. That was dark.
I never understood it. Like I kind of
Yeah.
got it, but it felt more like G.I. Joe or something. I don't know.
Who's what?
G.I. Joe, like it kind of felt more like one of those TV shows instead of a Disney Channel
Yeah, it was a little.
or Disney show. It wasn't Disney Channel. It was. I don't remember what channel it was.
They're also redoing Dinah Girl and Electra Woman, the old Sid and Marty Krofft superhero show. That one's coming back too.
We'll see how it goes.
I love Sid and Marty Krofft, not because it's good, but because it's fun.
So, do you know what today is?
Third.
Anybody know what's
3-3.
up? We need to change the battery, which means we're gonna go.
We're gonna
to
cut to Murray.
Disneyland
We're gonna cut
because
to
it's
Murray
the
and then we're gonna
20th
change the battery.
anniversary of Murray's gone.
Murray's
so
gone.
we're gonna talk as
Welcome to the Geeks Corner Radio Hour.
it's right behind you, Tyler. It's connected in. It's in.
It's
the
on
plug.
it's on the desk because I moved it.
Oh, you moved
It's
it onto
all the way out
desk.
to the left. Might be
Onto
hanging
the
down.
left, the battery. I was worried that something like this.
This is so engaging for our audience.
I'm
Get it?
so sorry, and it completely died. Whee! This is gonna be so fun when he plugs it back in. So anyway, 20 years ago today, Indiana Jones was opened at the Disneyland Resort, and that's why
The
Murray-
attraction.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a little bit older than that. You might need. Oh, we're back, and get there.
Oh,
We
It's gonna
go.
be in the square.
Hey, that was amazing. Well done, Tyler. Let us know in the hashtags what you think of. Okay, and for the record, Mikey's his account name has always been Mikey Really Likey, but my handle is Mikey Likey 25. Makes sense? Okay, good talk. Got it.
25 is 5 square.
That's what he said. I'm just reading the comments. That's all I do. So anyway, 20 years ago today, Indiana Jones opened. Our friend,
How many?
20. 2 decades. Our friend Frank Anzalone was actually there, took awesome pictures. Look him up. I think it's what is his?
Wasn't he the voice of Donald Duck?
No,
Oh.
another guy.
Sound like him.
What is his Facebook? He has some really great stuff. We'll put a link up in this episode in the information when we have it.
Mhm.
But he's got some really great historical pictures of the Disneyland Resort through the years and some other places. So definitely check that out. Do you have any favorite Indiana Jones parts really quick as we move forward?
I just remember that was the first time I waited in a very long line for like a premiere
Yeah,
attraction.
people waited for like 6 hours opening day.
I was in that line. And I remember I went on the whole thing, went through the line, covered my ears in the room where the spikes are going to kill you.
What'd you think of the snake?
I don't really recall. All I remember is as soon as I walked out of the attraction, I burst into tears. Like nothing during the attraction or during the line, but once I stepped off of the ride, I burst into tears.
Here's a fun fact.
That's my
Miss Bailey C. went to school where Indiana Jones was filmed, University of Pacific in Stockton, California.
nice.
That is a very fun fact, and she sent a picture. I just retweeted it
I thought it was
at
fun
my
in India.
Mr. DAPs, and I bet Nathan can retweet it on the DAPs Magic one, and everybody can see that because that's really cool.
Mhm.
You can almost see. I think that's like right where he jumps out the window
Nice.
in the last one.
Well, I
Well,
went to school where they filmed
not last
Evolution,
one.
so there
So
you
anyway,
go.
yeah, Indiana Jones, 20 years, awesome. I actually,
was
one of
fun.
my favorite parts of the Indiana Jones saga story at Disneyland was when they added the show in the
Yes.
Aladdin's
Yeah.
Oasis, and then they had him run around outside. Like I
Yeah.
thought that was
That's
the
cool.
best summer was seeing Indiana Jones running around.
I never saw the whole show. I just would
I
walk
saw
in
it once,
see
and
him
then they
jump off
changed
something.
it, and then they cut it. It was gone really fast, but it was right. Like everybody wants to character, and that's he wears cool hats. Let's move on.
Yeah.
we don't have Murray anymore, but that's okay. One thing you can do is have an experience that's not with Murray, but with Robert Downey Jr. Do you know about this? You didn't read this. I'm going to tell you about this.
I'm just.
There was a
recovering
contest going on for charity where Robert Downey Jr. you get to hang out with before the premiere of Avengers: Age of Ultron, and so you get to do all this cool stuff, and then you get to go hang out with him and see the movie.
Nice.
And I think that would be completely awesome to be able to do and spend the day. And it sounds like they're just going to spoil you rotten throughout the day. And we have information on that.
The only downside is that for the entire time you're together, and it's like 7 hours, you're just going to hear that song Iron Man on a loop and nothing else. Just pure sensory overload. Dun, 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 dun,
So it takes $10 to $10 donation at omaze.com/rdj, and the money will go to Julia's house, and that's a cool thing.
Who's Julia?
Go look at the article.
Okay.
You can look
What's it
afterwards.
for?
It's
Like,
on
what are we raising money for?
dapsmagic.com
What does it do?
and find out. But you get to do indoor skydiving, helicopter ride over the Hollywood sign. You get to get a custom tux/gown fitting, and then a pit stop at Randy's Donuts, which I want to go there. And then you get to taste caviar with Robert Downey Jr. You might not want to do that one. And then you get to ride in his private motorcade to the premiere.
Nice.
So it'll be a fun night.
You just get a fit. You don't get a custom tux or
I'm
dress. You
assuming
just
you're
get
going to
the
wear
fitting.
it to the premiere.
Okay. It just sounds like the fitting's free, but you got to buy the suit.
If you want to keep it, yeah.
Okay.
So this last weekend, sad news we'll move on to. Leonard Nimoy died at 83. Any geek that's worth his weight in salt probably mourned him a little bit, and we did too. Most well known for Spock, maybe most unknown for this Ballad of Bilbo Baggins. But that is
pretty well known for that.
Bilbo Baggins.
Yes, but we have him on our playlist every whatever night this is, Tuesday night before we film. We're listening to geek music to get us into the zone, and so we listen to the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins. Do you have any thoughts?
No, he was a really good actor, and I sometimes
Columbo,
he was in Columbo.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, actually, MeTV or Cozy TV did a marathon of all of his
Cool
appearances in other shows.
That's when it's good to have TV.
He was in The Man from
internet.
Uncle in the same episode as William Shatner and stuff like that, and just everything he did, he was fantastic. So
yeah. And I really, it's interesting because I watched the very first pilot of Star Trek last night, and I'd forgotten, but he is the first person in the history of the world to speak a line in Star Trek.
Really?
Yeah, he had the first line in the pilot, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Nice.
And I'd forgotten about that. And you just think, I really think he was kind of the heart and soul of Star Trek through the last 50 years. And
Even though he was the character with the least emotion.
Yeah. But there's interviews where Gene Roddenberry is flat out saying this guy's the conscience of Star Trek, and you watch the movies and you watch the role he plays, even though he is that character that you mentioned, he's really that moral compass that's taking him down the right track and down the center. And so I think he taught the world a lot about friendship and humanity, even though he wasn't quite human.
Well, that's how he did it.
Yeah.
It's because that character tried to ignore his humanity.
Yeah.
That every time it came through, it really mattered.
And it's interesting thinking about this over the weekend is his character is kind of the opposite of what Data was in The Next Generation, where he was trying to get away from his humanity, and Data had what he strove to be and was pushing towards it. And I really, it almost made me think less of the Data character because it's kind of a cheap knockoff of Spock. I mean, and we all know it is, but it was interesting just thinking of that as I went through the weekend thinking about this, and it'll be interesting to see what that does to the future Star Trek movie, because there was talk of him and Shatner being in the next movie at whatever level that was going to be, and obviously that won't happen now. So we'll see if they still use Shatner or what. So,
interesting.
Yeah, thoughts on Leonard Nimoy? Hashtag Geeks Corner. Let us know what you thought. Put it in the comments, whatever that is. So we never got to do it. The first and only time I went to Disneyland was when Indiana Jones was still new, and the line went around the building twice, says Mikey Really Likey. So we never got to do it, and I'll get there and ride it someday.
Oh, wow.
And Mikey Likey also says he was a fantastic actor and will be greatly missed, but now young Spock won't get cheat codes from old Spock. Does that mean it's true? There will be no cheating by Spock. No calling Uncle Spock and asking for directions. Yeah, that's...
Which, oddly enough, they're doing on YouTube this week is Dear Me, I think, and it's like the prompt is, record a message for your past
future.
self.
Yeah.
For your past self.
Oh, for your past self.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like what advice would you give to yourself?
Weird.
Up? Yeah, to inspire the future generation. But that's kind of what Spock was doing.
So
way before YouTube caught on.
Yeah. So our hearts go out to the family and friends of Leonard Nimoy. And if you want to see some of his recent work, go up to the Griffith Observatory, and he's in the show there, and that's kind of a fun place to see something that he was passionate about, because he's passionate about photography and space and science and all sorts of stuff. And he even taught acting, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Good.
But
all those people are going to grow up and...
Yeah, so let's jump from the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins to...
You amaze me sometimes.
I know.
Only sometimes.
It's right there.
One of those times.
No, but they're going to make a new Lord of the Rings theme park that's called the Shire, which is where Bilbo Baggins lived. It's going to be in Spain, of all places. Yeah. And it's going to be interesting.
Which is cool, because the rain stays mainly on the plain there. So
yeah. So hopefully there's no planes in this park. But basically it's going to be a 2-area park, and one area is being built as the area that you can experience without having to walk around. That's what the mayor of this town said. And then the other area is going to have attractions, and it's also going to have like ladders you can climb up, and hobbit holes you can go around and stuff. It sounds like it's the start of a decent idea, but it doesn't have Disney or Universal behind it, so it's probably not going to be as huge as we would hope.
In 10 years, we'll be watching video of creepy abandoned amusement park.
And here is your trivia question. It's possible. Here's your trivia question for the night. How big is a hectare? Because this park will be 8 hectares.
Okay.
And
I know a guy named Hector. He's pretty big.
Interesting thing that will be happening also with this, and I was kind of wondering about this as I was looking at it, but it sounds like even since I wrote it, I saw more articles coming out, is what the Tolkien estate, and then also what was it New Line to say about this, because there might end up being some copyright issues as we get closer to opening this, if it actually ever opens. But it's been announced, so we'll see what happens. And
which we have very little time left, so we need to acknowledge what the title of this segment has been that we just talked about.
Oh yes, we do. I totally spaced that.
It's totally fine. The title of that announcement about the Lord of the Rings amusement park falls under the heading of Called It. There's a headlines from the future a while ago where we announced we announced the news that came to us.
That's right.
Through our highly advanced future predicting technology, that there would be a Lord of the Rings theme park. So if you can find that episode and tweet us the number, then we'll go, oh, cool, and that'll be your prize.
And we'll say called it.
Yeah. So we totally called that one. Yeah. Do you have, what kind of attractions would you want to see there?
I actually don't know, because I started thinking about that. And they said nothing about Balrog. They said nothing about dragons. They said nothing about orcs. They said nothing about Uruk-hai. And so then I'm like, they did say there's going to be a big lake in the middle. Okay. So I'm like, are they just going to ride the boat? Like, is there going to be a boat, right? Like, I don't actually know that they know. So it'll be an interesting thing. And I'm curious to see. Like, I just don't know what to think. Like, it should have been in New Zealand.
I think they actually have a Hobbit town still built in New Zealand.
Yeah, the Shire is there, and you can go on the tour. And I would much rather do that, I think. And I mean, if I'm in Europe, I might stop by and check it out. But it definitely wouldn't be something I would spend more than an hour or two at. I don't feel like, because
We'll see.
I mean, I don't know how big 8 hectares are, but I feel like it's probably smaller than the Esplanade between Disneyland and Disney California Adventure.
Probably.
Does it? Like,
no. It's actually pretty big.
How big?
Do you want?
I want to know. Let me look. Just let me look.
That's another thing that's thrilling for our audience.
Oh, it is bigger.
Yeah.
Huh. Trivia. Yeah, let us know what you think of this in the comments, or hashtag Geeks Corner, because that'll show up on this page too. Anyway, we are running out of time because we have our cool
4
little,
seconds, 5 seconds over, 6
yeah, we
seconds
have this
over,
cool
7.
new timer thing that our producer made for us, found us, whatever it is. But anyway, we are going to call it a night, and
We're also stalling because I see what he's doing.
we're gonna stall for just a little bit
Just-
longer. He's
and then
going like this.
until he gives us a thumbs up.
Stretch. No, keep going, guys. You can do it. Yeah,
Do we have any questions we can answer really quick?
there are no questions. This confuses me greatly. I don't see a point to it. It just seems like a waste of time. Just saying. I'm assuming Mike, you really like he is talking about the Lord of the Rings. I'm curious to see if it gets past the legalese.
Yeah.
The mayor. I didn't do a follow up on this story because I wanted to look more into it. The town that's building this insists that they've got their legal basis covered, and in fact, they're not even calling it the Shire in the in their name. It's the Spanish version, and I don't remember
El
what that is.
Shiro.
It's
I don't know. I might have just.
oh,
heard it
and we got an
somewhere.
answer from Inkenyo that says 8 hectare equals 19 acres.
Okay.
So that's wow, that's not that big.
What's California Adventure?
50 something, no 60 something, isn't it?
So it's like a third of California Adventure.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like it's like
Hollywood Land
Buena
Adventure.
Vista Street or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be curious what that is. Put it in the comments when we get there. Also, let us know what you thought of Star Wars Rebels if you've seen it, because I want to hear other people geek out about it. So anyway, we are out of time. The producer said we're good to go, right? And we'll see you around the corner.
Geek out.
Yeah.